There are fast cars, there are beautiful cars, and then, once in a very long time, there is a car that makes you stop mid-sentence and forget what you were saying. This is the 2027 Porsche 911 Turbo S, and if you think you already know what a 911 Turbo S is, you don't. Not this one. Let's start outside. Because before you ever open a door, before you hear the engine, before you touch a single surface, this car says something. Black, full gloss, standing under showroom light, it looks less like a car and more like a consequence. The silhouette is instantly recognizable because Porsche has never tried to reinvent the 911. They refine it. Every generation is a sharper version of the last, and this generation is the sharpest yet. Up front, the headlights sit low and wide. HD matrix LEDs, they don't just illuminate the road, they dissect it. The front fascia is wider than the previous Turbo S, with active air flaps integrated into the bumper. You won't notice them standing still. At 150 miles an hour, they're the difference between stability and chaos. Move to the side. The rear haunches are wider than ever, because they have to be. The rear tires on this car are 325 section. For reference, that's wider than what most sports cars run on their widest axle. The new centerlock wheel design sits flush and purposeful. No chrome, no excess, just function, wearing the clothes of beauty and the rear. This is where the 911 Turbo S makes its statement. The active rear wing deploys automatically. The titanium exhaust tips frame the back end like punctuation at the end of a very serious sentence. The Turbonite trim, Porsche's exclusive dark bronze gray finish reserved only for turbo variants, runs across the spoiler slats, the window surrounds, and the rear badge. It tells you, without shouting, that this is the one. One more thing about this exterior. That black paint, in this light, is not flat. It breathes, it shifts. It is the kind of color that photographs poorly and looks perfect in person. That is intentional. This car was not designed for the internet. It was designed for the road. Open the door and pause here for a second, because the door closes and the outside world stops existing. The cabin of the 2027 Porsche 911 Turbo S is not a luxury interior in the traditional sense. It doesn't try to be a living room. It doesn't try to be a hotel suite. It is built around one idea: the driver. The Turbonite accents continue inside, stitching on the door panels, the center console surround, the climate controls, the gear lever. That same dark bronze runs through everything. Subtle, consistent, considered. The seats are Porsche's Adaptive Sport Seats Plus, 18-way power adjustable. They hold you without gripping you. They communicate the road without punishing you. Spend 4 hours in these seats on a long drive and your back will feel better than it did when you started. That is not an accident. That is engineering. The steering wheel sits in your hands with the weight of something real. The Turbonite accent strip cuts across it. The controls fall exactly where your fingers rest. You don't reach for anything. Everything comes to you. The instrument cluster. A 12.6-inch curved display, with a classic center tachometer that Porsche has kept analog in spirit even as everything else went digital. Because some things should not change. The rev counter is the heartbeat of this car, and you should always be able to see it at a glance. The central touchscreen handles navigation, climate, and the full Porsche communication management system. Wireless Apple CarPlay is standard. The Bose surround sound system is standard. At $272,000, standard means something different. The headliner is Racetex, perforated, lightweight, finished in Turbonite. It absorbs sound. It absorbs light. It makes the roof feel closer to you in a way that feels intentional, not cramped. Look at the small details. The stitching on the leather is perfectly even. The gaps between every panel are identical. The material quality, surface to surface, is without compromise. This is what $250,000 looks like when a German company has had 64 years to figure out how to spend it. Now, the part that changes everything: the 2027 Porsche 911 Turbo S is a hybrid. Not because the world told Porsche to go hybrid. Because Porsche looked at the laws of physics and found a way to cheat them. A 3.6-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine, 2 electric turbochargers, not one. Each turbo has an electric motor on its shaft, which means boost arrives before you've finished pressing the pedal. There is no lag. There is no build-up. There is only power. Combined system output, 701 horsepower, 590 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 miles per hour, 2.4 seconds. That number is not exaggerated. Porsche is famously conservative with their acceleration claims. The real number, on a real track, with a real driver, will be closer to 2 seconds flat top speed, 205 miles per hour, and the Nürburgring. The 7.7-mile nightmare in Germany that is the automotive world's most honest judge. The previous 911 Turbo S set a time. This one beat it by 14 seconds. 14 seconds, on a track where 1 second is considered significant, is a statement that requires no translation. The 8-speed PDK dual-clutch transmission handles the power with the precision of something that does not hurry because it has never needed to. All-wheel drive is standard, in every condition, on every surface. This car will find grip you didn't know existed. Be honest with yourself, this is not a car for everyone. $272,000 is a number that ends most conversations before they begin. And that's before Porsche's options catalog, which is deep, and which is merciless on a bank account. But for the person who buys this car, what they are getting is something that cannot be replicated. No other car at this price combines this level of performance, this level of daily usability, and this level of heritage. A Ferrari at this price point is more exotic but less livable. A McLaren is more extreme but less refined. A Lamborghini is more theatrical but less precise. The 911 Turbo S is the one you could drive to work on a Tuesday and to a track day on Saturday and to a mountain road on Sunday, and each time, it would feel like it was built specifically for that. That is a rare thing. That may be the rarest thing in the automotive world. There is a reason the Porsche 911 has existed since 1963. Not because Porsche found a formula and repeated it. Because they found something true about driving, about the relationship between a person and a machine, and they have spent 6 decades making that truth more precise. The 2027 Turbo S is not the peak of that pursuit. Porsche won't let it be. But right now, in this moment, in this light, in this color, it is very close. If you've sat in one, driven one, or if you're currently convincing yourself you need one, tell me in the comments. And if you want a full deep dive on the T-Hybrid powertrain and what it actually feels like to drive, that video is coming next.